Hi and welcome to our motorcycle jacket and pant guide. In this section we are looking at materials. Alright, so right off the bat we have leather garments and we have textile garments. I'm going to talk about leather first and then move on to textiles. So leathers, they're the historic choice of motorcyclists. With that comes a lot of style, comes a lot of functionality as well. For a given thickness and a given weight and flexibility, you're going to get the best sliding protection from a leather garment. And for that reason, the majority of racers are going to choose those. If you're looking at buying a leather garment, there's three things you really have to pay attention to. The first one is going to be thickness. Sometimes it's given in weight as well, but thickness and weight are basically transferable. There's actually a chart beneath this video that'll give you a rough outline of how that works. Basically, if you're looking at something like chaps or boots or a loose-fitting jacket, you go ahead and buy something that's pretty thick, 1.7 millimeters or up from there would be considered a heavyweight leather. That's quite thick. It's going to give you excellent sliding protection, probably more than you even need realistically. But it's going to give you, a ton of that safety, so you might as well do it if you can. On the other side, if you're looking at more of a tight jacket, more of a, racing style garment or something just tight fitting, you're going to want to go more towards the competition weight leathers, which are going to be right around 1.2 millimeters, maybe up to 1.4. And in that level, you're going to get good abrasion resistance as well, but it's also going to be movable. It's going to be more comfortable on the skin. It's not going to feel like you're wearing an old boot or something like that. So that's what you're going to want to pay attention to with regards to thickness. The second thing that you're going to want to keep an eye on is the animal that the leather is actually made of. So that really matters. On one level, we have, cowhide, buffalo, deer, or sheep and goat. Those are all pretty good leathers. They're going to give you good safety. They're going to give you good sliding protection. Those are all, very good choices. But there are a couple ones that are going to be a cut above. So stingray leather, kangaroo leather, and deer leather. Those are all going to be a little bit of a cut above just because you get less weight. You get a little bit more flexibility for the same level of abrasion resistance from those. So again, stingray, deer hide, kangaroo leather, those are just going to be a cut above, whereas cowhide and buffalo and sheep and goat are going to be good choices, but a little bit below. The third thing you're going to want to pay attention to is the cut. So we have full grain leather. That's really, really raw look. It's going to develop a nice patina over time. It's safe for motorcycling. It'll soak up the water a little bit more, but it's a good choice. The other cut you can get is a top grain leather. With top grain leather, it's a little bit more plasticky, it's a little bit more treated, but it's also a good choice. It's going to be safe for motorcycling. Third one though is split leather. That's made from the fibrous part of the hide. That's not a good choice. It's good for fashion, it's bad for falls simply because it's not strong enough. So that's basically everything you need to know about leather garments. On the other side, we have textiles. Textile is a really loaded word. It encompasses all kinds of natural and synthetic fibers in there. So there's a lot going on with textiles. Basically with textiles, they're going to be better in terms of being machine washable. They'll be more lightweight. You're going to pay less for them. They'll be more waterproof probably as well. So those are all good things where textiles are going to do better than leather. Textile and leather are going to be about equal in terms of comfort, I would say. Textile jacket or pant isn't going to mold to your body like a good old leather garment will, but they do have tons of stretch fabrics. They do have really nice liners and stuff. So I'd say they're about equal in terms of comfort. However, where textiles come short of leather is really in the protection department. So with the textile jacket, you're not going to get as much abrasion resistance, as much sliding protection as you will from a traditional leather garment. Now I say that in general terms because there are some textiles out there like some really thick Cordura nylons, some good Kevlar, some really high-tech stuff that is going to give you great sliding protection, almost as good as a lot of the leathers that are out there. So don't write off textiles as being unsafe. Just pay attention to the materials that are in them and make sure you're buying something that is quite high-tech, that is quite durable, that's going to stand up in a slide. We have a chart below this guide video in the text portion of this guide that's going to go through tons of common materials, all the fancy names, the acronyms, and it's going to tell you a little bit about those materials so you'll know how to identify them in a textile jacket or textile pant and be able to tell how safe that garment is going to be. The thing with textiles, the last thing we're going to say, and we say it hesitantly because we are a retail site, but we're going to say you do get what you pay for. If you do spend a little bit more, you're probably bound to get a little bit more protection from that just because abrasion resistant and strong textile materials just inherently cost more than the weaker materials. So if you are buying a premium jacket, you're going to get more of those expensive materials. You're going to get more safety from that as well. That is really it as far as jacket and pant materials go, but we have so much more coming up in this guide. So if you have more questions, please keep watching. Call our customer service if you have anything obscure or just want to talk to a real person. But for this section, I will say thank you very much for watching.